Hello and welcome to Brickstars. We're going to be making the Castle Battle Pack remake scene.
So this scene was inspired by set 6103 minifigure battle pack from 1988. What we did is we modernized it with new torsos, new faces, and brought it into 2023.
We started with the figures, we lined them all up just to see what we were working with, and now that we know, we start with setting up the background. Now we do love using these kind of facade rocks, they're so nice and thin, and then we could kind of lift them up if we do want to make mountains, but in this case we're just putting them down to kind of serve as almost hills or kind of rocky outcropping in the ground. The soil is from the garden, real soil, as we do. The trees themselves are the plastic ones that we have from the dollar store, but they work perfectly for this type of application.
And what we wanted to capture in this scene is a thick forest with a corridor going in between. We knew we had 6 minifigures to work with and we wanted to space them out. This battle pack had 2 archer figures that we wanted to put up in the trees. So we've got some height on the sides, we have a valley passageway in the middle where the dirt is, and now we're just adding in the detailed bushes, rocks, before we start laying the figures out.
When we're laying the figures, we try to maximize the focus of the camera by putting them in one plane so they're all sort of in focus. In this photo you'll see this blue character ended up being out of focus, so we did take 2 separate photos and merge them together. You'll see that in the effect editing part, but we did space them out. As you see, there's archers in the trees, and for the wide photo especially, we wanted to maximize the range at which the people are located.
Right here we've got a little bit of a behind the scenes shot, so we've got everything pretty much the way we like it, enough details. We set up the camera, get our focus in place, and we take a couple shots. Usually we'll take about 3 to 5 shots and pick the best one that we like, and now we take it into Photoshop for some edits.
So we start off with the camera raw editor in Photoshop and move on to editing the actual effects. So we are adding in the figure now that was previously out of focus. This was the separate photo. Luckily, there was only the one figure that had to be changed. So as long as they're perfectly in position, they can blend seamlessly into the new photo. We crop it, put it to 1080p. That's standard for Instagram photo size. Then we have our standard effect template with our Brickstars branding and all that coloring that we usually just go with. Sometimes we do add extra effects, but we find that this template is kind of a nice starting point where we can begin from.
In this photo specifically, we knew the sun in the background is something we wanted to highlight. We really wanted to create the appearance of sun rays going through the trees. So we brightened up the trees, we added the rays, and now we're exaggerating the particles around the minifigures. Again, this is an effect we use in a lot of our photos. We find it brings life. It almost adds kind of like speckles of dust in the air. So these minifigures are walking through the woods. We expect there'd be a lot of dust.
There's mud, there's mulch, and they're just walking, so this really shows that sort of motion, and that's what we're exactly what we're going for here. Now just the finishing touches, a couple more particles for the figure in the corner here, and we're almost ready to present the final image here. But wait, there's more.
We decided to make use of the scene and create a little battle scene between the leader of the Forestmen and a knight of the Black Falcons. So this is a close-up shot of the 2 battling. We start off by making sure everything's cleaned up. Sometimes the macro lens captures a little bit too much, so we clean that up, and then we do some touch-ups, brightening up the figures.
We make the photo at standard 1080p like we did in this one, and with this Because this photo series actually has 2 photos, we tend to extract the effects from the first photo and put it into the second one just to maintain and have consistent effects throughout. It is a photo series in this case, so the effects would be the same, and particles here play a big role. The particles themselves show and highlight the fact that there's motion, there's a battle, they're stepping on mud, they're throwing it around, so it really exaggerates the motion that these figures are performing here.
So at this point we wanted to see, is there something else we could add to bring this photo to life? That's where the Clash of Swords comes into play. We bring over the sparks, some sword swooshes, and this now looks like it's an epic battle between these two. So we make sure everything's cleaned up. Some of these small details you may not see, but we don't like to have it left unfinished.
So what we do is we take a step back, and in this case we found that there was a part that we needed to darken. It was standing out too much, and here's the finished product. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, and let us know in the comments what you think of our videos and what you want to see in the future.